What is up, everybody? Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Reezy Resells, and today we're going to be talking about the stuff that you need to know to get into selling on Amazon. So if you are someone who just started following me, or one of my videos that went viral, I'm at the Nike store, whatever, you saw me, you're like, what is this kid doing? And now you've watched some videos and now you want to get in the game, but what do? You don't know exactly what to do. And hopefully I can save you guys some trouble and hopefully some time. So the title of this video is going to be, it's like, I forget what it is exactly, but it's like everything you need to know to sell on Amazon, or how to get started selling on Amazon in 5 minutes. So the video is going to be longer than 5 minutes because I'm probably going to run on since I'm doing it live, and I'm going to do some questions at the end. So if you have questions, save them for the end. But starting from when the information delivery starts, I hope to get as much of it in 5 minutes as possible. So that is the goal. I've been sick for a few days, almost 4 or 5 days. I'm starting to feel better. Shout out to the people that showed up here on the show. How's the sound going, guys? Sound is good. Shout out to Ben Samokil, Ryan Raymond, BFA15, Aisha Hayes. And also, I want to preface this with, I can't teach you everything you guys need to know in 5 minutes. So there's going to be some things where I just gloss over it and say, hey, you need to watch more of my videos because I've made videos in depth about this topic. And on top of that, you guys should all go and get my free Amazon course. It's freaking free. So just go to reezyresells.com. There should be a pop-up or a thing at the top that says get the free course. Click on that, put your email in. I won't spam you to death. I promise. You'll get the free course. And that is like, it'll take you probably 4 hours to go through all of that. That will bring you up to speed a lot more than I can do in a 5-minute YouTube video. But I'm happy to try and give you guys that in 5 minutes. And we're here. We're going to do it. So Alexa, can you set a timer for 5 minutes, please?
5 minutes, starting now.
All right. So guys, the first thing that I want you to do, if you want to sell on Amazon, you need an Amazon account. So sign up for an Amazon seller account. It's free. It might not look like it's free, but it is free. You have to dig around to find the link for the free selling account, okay? Otherwise, it's $39.99 a month to be a pro merchant. If you can't find the link, don't worry because they kind of hide it. Just subscribe for the $40 a month plan and then contact seller support and downgrade. Say, hey, I want to be on the free plan. Downgrade me. Now, what is the difference between the free plan and the pro plan besides the $40 a month? As a free plan member, they're going to charge you an extra $1 for every sale. So you don't have to pay $40 a month, but you do get charged an extra $1 a sale. So that one rule alone means that if you sell over 40 items a month, you have to be a pro merchant or you're losing money, okay? There's a couple other things like maybe only just one other thing. You can't apply to sell in restricted categories if you're not a pro merchant. So if you want to apply in restricted categories, I can't go into that too much. You need to be a pro merchant. So just understand what you do and don't need. You don't need to pay anything. Get a free account. Get your phone, download the Amazon seller app. That is also free, okay? So now you have an Amazon account, you have an Amazon seller app. You need to learn how to use the app. There's tutorials all over YouTube. Even Amazon has their own tutorials. It's very simple. Basically, you press the camera button in the app and you scan barcodes, right? You need to learn how to use the app. And the way I'm going to teach you, or the way I want you to learn how to use the app, is by going through your house and scanning everything in your house, anything with the barcode. I don't care if you want to keep it or don't want to keep it. Just scan it and learn to see, one, can you sell it? There will be a little thing that'll say restrictions. You can or you can't sell it. As a new seller, you can't sell a lot of stuff. Books are one of the things you can sell, most books. So that's why I advise people to get into books. So scan the thing, see if you can sell it, and then learn how to read the other data. How many offers are there? What profit will you make if you sell it? There's a little calculator in there where you can put how much you're going to pay and how much it's going to sell for and how much money you're going to make. Just learn how to use the Amazon seller app. Okay, guys? The next thing you need to know is you need to understand Amazon sales rank. I can't explain that in this video, but the summary of it is it's a number that indicates how well an item is selling on Amazon. In the book category, the number one book sells the most, more than any other book, at least at that time of seeing the rank. It's not static, changes over time, but it is the single most important factor to understanding whether an item actually moves, because anybody can list an item for any price. It doesn't mean it's going to actually sell. But an item that is listed at a high price that you can see continually sells, then that's an item that actually sells at that price, not just some inflated bullshit. So let's see. So that's velocity of sales with sales ranks. And understand restriction, guys. You cannot sell everything. You can't go out and sell Nikes like I can and this and that. So if you want to get into Amazon, you need to sell what you can until Amazon approves you to start selling more stuff in more categories. You need to prove to them that you're serious. The best way that I know how to do that for the cheapest amount of money is used books. Get into the used book game. I have lots of videos about selling used books. You don't need much. You need to buy used books. You can use the Amazon seller app, your phone. You could pay $10 a month to get a scanning plan with Scoutly or Profit Bandit or Scout IQ, and just start scanning books in thrift stores, at library sales, garage sales, whatever. But in 6 months to 1 year of selling as much as you can and doing your best, you will start to get approved to sell in more categories on Amazon. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. In the meantime, you need to sell those items on eBay, on Mercari, on Poshmark, wherever you can sell them. So that's good because you need to be diversified. You'll learn multiple platforms, but you need to start with used stuff because it's cheap to make mistakes. You'll grow your capital fast, and you're just not making a lot of risks, guys. Used is where it's at. And trust me, you don't need anything. If you have a phone, you can start an Amazon business. Actually, that's a lie. You need a printer, because if you don't have a printer, you can't print the labels that go on the items or your postage. You can print postage on a regular laser printer or a thermal 8.5 by 11, cut it out, tape it to boxes, and you can get Avery 30 up labels to put in that printer to print the labels that Amazon requires you to put onto products before you ship them into Amazon. And I just realized I got a little bit ahead of myself, but there's 2 ways you can sell on Amazon, which is important to understand. Merchant fulfilled, which means storing it at your house, and when it sells to the customer, you ship it. Or fulfilled by Amazon, which means you ship everything you source, like a whole day's worth of products, 1,000 different items, into boxes, into Amazon. Amazon stores it. Alexa, stop. So you can't really do it all in 5 minutes, but FBA means that you send it to Amazon, they store it and house your items. It gets the Prime badge, so the customers actually think it comes from Amazon. And when it sells to the customer, Amazon ships it. And there's a lot of benefits to doing FBA. You can price your items higher. You don't have to worry about infrastructure of warehouse or warehouse employees. You can do $1 million in a 10 by 15 storage unit with an Amazon FBA business, because you don't store product. You just ship it, and just keep shipping stuff out. So very important to understand the 2 ways you can sell on Amazon, either merchant fulfilled or fulfilled by Amazon. There's some nuances and more details to that, but if you're watching this video, there's no point in me going into that. I have more videos about that. Shout out to Steven De La Cruz, said it's the first time showing up on a live video. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming in. And if you guys, there's like a lot of links in the description down there, shamelessly, lots of them. Many of them are affiliate links, so I appreciate that you use them. But I would never put anything in my description for you to click on that I didn't believe in, didn't use myself, or didn't know others that use it to their full benefit. So go down there in the description and surf through the links and see if there's anything, if there's a free trial, if there's just anything that you need to know. But the most important part that I want you guys to know is that to get started changing your life with an Amazon FBA business and get out of your 9-to-5 and quit your job and all that, you don't need to buy anything. You don't need to buy anybody's course. You don't need to buy anything. You can do it all with this, with your phone, which is in your pocket, I'm guessing. So pull it out of your pocket and you use it to start a business. As that business starts making you money, then you can buy a scanner. Then you can buy the label printer. Then you can do whatever. You don't even need a printer. Just get your labels and take them over to your friend's house and print them. Like, if you want to start an Amazon business and you have no money, there's nothing stopping you. Almost everybody watching this has a smartphone, and that's literally all you need to do it. I know people that actually run their entire business off of their phone, including having printers that they print from their phone directly to the print. It's insane. There is nothing stopping you guys from starting an Amazon FBA business. Certainly not a $500 or $1,000 course that you need, or $100 or $200 scanner, or not. You don't need any of that. Save all of your money and use that money on books, to buy books to start your used book Amazon business, which is going to grow your shit and keep it growing to the next level. I covered the labeling a little bit. When you send stuff to Amazon, for the most part, you have to put a sticker over the barcode, because Amazon scans that barcode on the sticker, and then that's how they track their inventory or whatever. If you don't have a printer, there's an alternative. You could actually pay Amazon 20 cents a unit for them to sticker it for you. And that's a good alternative for people that maybe don't have a printer or maybe don't have time. Like if you have just enough time to source your stuff and get it shipped out, and you don't want to spend another hour stickering it, or 2 hours, whatever, pay Amazon to do it. If the margin in your product that you source supports that extra 20 cents, go for it. You know what I mean? But understand how long it takes you to sticker 100 items and what that means when you pay Amazon 20 cents an item, because you could sticker, 5 items a minute pretty fast. So 100 items is going to take, less than an hour for sure. So understand what you're actually paying them. It's a lot when you pay them the per hour rate for the stickering. Inbound shipping. So when you ship your products to Amazon, you get very discounted deep rates from FedEx or UPS. And this is cheap. It's like 19 to 55 cents a pound, depending on what your packages weigh and how far you're having to ship it. Is it from Cali to New York, or is it from Cali to Washington, or Cali to Texas, or to Kansas, or whatever? The farther it is, the more it costs. But when I get in-state shipments, it's as cheap as 19 cents a pound to like the ONT8 warehouse, which is in California here. Let's see, but optimal weight, you guys want to get as close to 50 pounds per box on your inbound weight as possible. Do not go over 50 pounds. That is not allowed unless it's a single item that's over 50 pounds. Let's see. Yeah, guys, there's really not a lot to it. Like inside of Amazon, there's tutorials that will teach you how to do it. Amazon has this thing called Seller University where they walk you through everything. They have little videos and little graphics and tutorials. But for the most part, guys, I want you to focus on the process, not the profit, right? So don't get caught up in like, oh, all of this stuff I found, I can't make any money. Like, for example, when you shop your house to find stuff to sell, you might find like an old wedding gift that you never opened that you could sell that's still sealed and it's worth money, or some books, or just whatever you have in your house that you find, a toy your kid never used, or a used toy. You can sell used stuff, some electronics that you don't want anymore. Whatever you find, you need to put that into the system and just get it shipped out. Like, because the more shipments that you ship out, the easier the system's going to be. So the first shipment that you send out is going to be much harder than the second and third, no matter what. So it's in your benefit to not struggle over the profit. So like, even if you're going to lose $1 on this item when you send it in, or lose a quarter or whatever, just send it in, because you need to get a couple shipments under your belt, decrease your anxiety about the whole process, and then actually see that those items sell. Like, it won't matter that when you send in that candle set your brother got you from your wedding gift that you never opened, and you send it in and you lose $1 or whatever. Like, say you knew he paid 20 bucks for it, and when you sell it, it only pays out 19 bucks. Well, the beautiful part about that is you were expecting it to sell for that much and pay out that much. So you just ship it in. Don't worry about the profit, just the process. And it sells, and you go, oh shit, it sold and it made 19 bucks. Exactly what Reezy told me it would make when I focused on the process. And now you have some confidence, you have the ball rolling, and you understand how the process works. So then you can focus on profit. Once you get your confidence up, decrease your anxiety of how the system works, then you could focus on creating profits around the process. And just, once you get everything in your house that you don't want or need anymore, you can ask your friends. Then you can start going to thrift stores. Then you can start going to garage sales. Then there's auctions. The rabbit hole is deep, guys. Online arbitrage, retail arbitrage, like, it's never ending. There is so many opportunities, wholesale, private label. But the moral of the story, guys, is that selling on Amazon is an opportunity that can change your life. And I know, because it changed my life severely. It's ridiculous how much my life has changed over the last 10 to 15 years, all because of selling on Amazon. And even now, because the whole YouTube education thing is changing my life again, but it's still based around Amazon, guys. Like, I just want you guys to know it's super real. Whether or not you want to sell books or you want to, sell, $1 million, 10 million a year wholesale operation, or you want to do private label, or, whether, who knows what you want to do with your life. Maybe you don't even want to sell online, but I want you to know that it's an opportunity and a vehicle that can take you anywhere in your life, right? So like literally starting from $0 with sweat equity in, you can use books to grow an Amazon business that can then become any kind of Amazon business or other e-commerce business or service-based businesses or a brick and mortar business or whatever. That money you needed to move your family to Europe or whatever. I just want you guys to know that there's an opportunity right in front of you to change your life. And if you're not happy with your life and how you're living it right now, I urge you to look into the internet and ways to make money online, specifically selling on Amazon, and even more specifically, used books, because in my opinion, used books are the best way to learn Amazon. And I would consider used books the gateway drug to Amazon. And it is a good gateway drug. Lots of people never even leave the book game. Some people do. Like I said, it might be for you, it might not be for you, but if you have dreams or ambitions in life, you don't need to just sit in that 9 to 5 that you fucking hate, selling your soul every day for a fucking paycheck that does nothing but get you to the next week so that you can fucking do it again. You can work your ass off with nothing but just a drive to change your life, and you can change your life to where you have meaning and purpose and fucking free time and the ability to do what you want to do, the ability to help others. It's endless, but it's there, guys. So please take advantage of the opportunities that people like myself are teaching you guys on the internet, YouTube, whatever. Let's go into the comments and see if you guys have any questions. I appreciate you guys for being here. Please smash the like button if you guys appreciate that. I'm trying to go see how many. We got 120 people. You guys are amazing. I had no idea how many people were watching. I can't see from my view. So let's go into the chat. If you guys have any questions, please put them on the screen. All capital letters, questions. And also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but we got some new merch. New merch alert. We got the Reezy Follow the Hustle highly visible sourcing tee. And we got the Thrifter. Check it out. The Thrifter Thrasher jump off on camo. Not ready yet. This is the sample for the hat. The shirts are live in the store. The hats are not live in the store, but they're coming soon. Soon to be followed up with beanies as well. They're all right. I just don't like the embroidery that much. But the shape of the beanie is dope, and the shape of the hat is also dope. And I'm really proud of myself for this idea, and I did the design myself. So it's not ready to release to you guys, but as you can see, it's pretty dope. I like to call this fit hunting season. Let's see. What type of books are easier to sell? This is a great question. So when you get into selling books, obviously you need to know which ones are worth money. And the short answer is scan it with the barcode scanner because it will tell you. But the more detailed answer is that 95+% of all books in the market are completely worthless and are not even worth your time. They will be worth pennies on the dollar or under $3, and that's nothing you want to spend any of your time with. So books that are worth more money on average than other books are nonfiction books. And inside of the category of nonfiction is going to be textbooks. So nonfiction books, books about how to do stuff, books about, history, books about music, books about things that people are interested in that are timeless and don't change too much. Those are always going to be worth good money. But that could backfire. Certain stuff that doesn't ever change and they make a book every year, that's kind of worthless. You know what I mean? And like the rarer the title is. So like I sold a book recently. It was called it was like The Art and Construction of Medieval Iron Field, whatever. I don't know. It sold for like $200 or $300, but I'm not surprised because the title, it's all about how to make armor, right? Like armor, like stuff that's probably only being used at like Renaissance fairs and stuff. So the person who bought this book probably makes a living doing that kind of thing. And it makes sense that that book is worth money because that craft makes them money. And it also makes sense because there's probably not a ton of books printed about how to make armor, like traditional Renaissance armor. You know what I mean? And it was also an older looking book. So books that are valuable to people, you know, more than just the time that it gives them through entertainment, are always going to be worth more money. Textbooks in general are worth a lot. If you don't know, ask a student what they paid for their textbooks. Let's see. Craig said he's 4 months in of book selling, part-time, cleared 10,000. Way to go, Craig. Everyone clap it up for Craig Dog out here. Kyle said he loves the shirt. Thank you, Kyle. Charnel says, suggestion for packaging books for FBA. Yes, put the books in the box. Don't worry about it. Books are very durable. They survived their life to you, right? Who knows what they went through to get to you, and they're good. So don't baby them. Don't have to clean them. You don't have to polybag them. Just stuff them in the box. Pack it so tight that you don't need any packaging and there's no room for them to get damaged. They will be fine. Let's see. Alex Dermer. Can I sell my clothing line on Amazon? Can I send pictures to Amazon and sell them into Amazon and sell them? You can. So you can create your own listings on Amazon, and then you could populate it with your stuff, and then you could ship it your own, you know, merchant fulfilled yourself or FBA. The problem with that is that you're not going to get a lot of traffic unless your clothing line happens to be something that people are already looking for. So the beauty with Amazon is that they have so much organic search traffic. And if you position a product for sale in front of customers that are already looking for it with lots of search traffic, it's going to sell. And that's kind of how Amazon works. It's also why if you make your own product, like I'm kind of talking about right now, which is kind of like a private label clothing apparel situation, there will be no traffic for that. You will have to send traffic. You'll have to run ads. You'll have to create that organic flow on Amazon through external stimulus, unless you get lucky and happen to, you know, your clothing is something that's being searched for a lot on Amazon, which is not likely. Question, can I sell boring sneaker brands like Nautica? You can sell anything on Amazon that Amazon will let you sell. And if there isn't a listing on Amazon, you can create a new listing. So yes, you can sell the most boring stuff, but who would want to do that? Tyler, shout out Mastermind Group. Go check out the Mastermind Group. I have a private Mastermind Group. We hang out every day. We do a live call once a week. We share all kinds of stuff that we do not share publicly. Go check that out, patreon.com/Reezy. But guess what? I don't want you to join that if you don't have any money. Like, save your money for books. If you have low funds, you probably have a lot of time. Invest your time, not money. Invest your time. You got time, use that. You know what I mean? Most people that don't have money have time. Let's see. Do you click on create a batch to print the labels that go over the barcode? No, I have no idea what you're talking about. Let me see. Craig says, the key to getting sales from books is getting the paper, stacking the paper, and sending the paper, which in turn makes more paper. You're exactly correct, Craig. That's the key. Let's see. Ben is out here with some motivation. Maria says she's starting books tomorrow. Good luck, Maria. Jeremy said, just joined, sent my first FBA shipment in today. Congratulations, Jeremy. Let's see. Sean Brown says, what size box? What do you mean, what size box? So Royal Arts Entertainment says, who takes pictures of the books, Amazon or the seller? This is the beautiful thing about Amazon, is that you don't have to take pictures of the products you're listing as long as they already have a product detail page. So if they have a product detail page, which is the page that represents, you know, the page you could buy this battery on or whatever, like this is a Pocket Juice 3800 milliamp battery. So if you find the page that this thing is on, then you can sell it on there. And if it's not, you know what I mean, you can make it yourself and you're going to add pictures. But if it's there already, the pictures are already there. And even if the pictures are there and they suck, you could take better pictures yourself and edit it and submit them. And then Amazon will review them. And if your pictures are better, it will approve your pictures and they'll supersede the listing pictures, which is actually important. Sometimes a listing doesn't sell just because it has really shitty pictures. So improving pictures could definitely increase the sell-through rate. But you don't have to take pictures for most things that you list on Amazon. For 99% of everything I sell, 99.9, I'm not taking a picture. And in fact, if I have to create a listing, I want that item to make me like at least $30 profit, because making a listing on Amazon takes at least 10 minutes. Also, please smash the like button if you're here. I do appreciate the little finger action to go hit the thumbs up button. Pause. So let's see. When you go to the Dollar Tree to buy books, is there a way we can get rid of the marker on the bottom of the book? So that's called a remainder mark, and you can kind of get rid of it, but it's kind of a pain in the ass. So if you take a very fine grit sandpaper and you put it around a block of wood that is about the thickness of the block of text that's in the book, and then you open the hardback, I'm assuming it's a hardback or paperback, whatever, get the cover away from the pages, vice the pages like with a freaking grip from Home Depot that you squeeze in so the pages are tight like a rock, and then just sand the edges of the pages equally, and you will actually take the marker off. But is it really worth it? Like, how much work, profit, work, like, I don't know. For the record, I don't do that. I've done it before, and one time, and I was like, that's not fucking worth it. What is a good cheap Bluetooth scanner? The cheapest ones are going to be the eYoyo, EYOYO, or Nadamu, Nadamoo. They're a little bigger, a little clunkier than the Opticon or the CombTech, but they get the job done, and they're readily available for under $100, which is nice. I have a video coming up soon. I'm going to review all of the scanners, not all of them, but like 9 or 10 different types of Bluetooth scanners. I will review them all in one video. And like after that, everyone, you won't need to make another scanner video again. Danita says, what's happening? What's happening? Blingy says, question, how do you scale selling books? I'm thrifting them at the moment, but trying to scale it, and I'm not sure where to start. So the first thing, Blingy, is that you need to stop shipping. You need to hire someone to do everything except source, and see if you can increase the input into the workflow system by focusing all your time on sourcing. If that works, that's good, because the extra input from you sourcing will more than pay for the person processing, and you don't want to process anymore anyways. That's the first step. The next step is, can you increase your supply even more in your same local area? Meaning, is there books you're missing? Do you wish you had more arms or could be in 2 places at once? If so, you need to train someone to go on routes with you, and you need to also focus on making relations at every place you go to every day. You're the book guy. You're the nicest guy that comes in there and buy books. You're smiling. You leave the place cleaner than anybody. You help out when needed. You hold the door open. You remember that her son's name was Tommy and he was sick last week, whatever it takes. And don't think we're not spreadsheeting this shit to remember employees' names, their family members' names, anything. You're buying them coffee. You're doing whatever you can. You need to scale how much people care about you. So you need to have brand awareness. You need to be everywhere, and they all need to know you're the book guy, but they need to actually care about you and want you to win, which means you need to scale your giving a fuckness, for lack of better words, to everybody so that they can know you actually care, because then they'll want you to win. And then when they have an opportunity, like say they get an extra delivery of books and they have way more than they can put out, so they're faced with the decision to either throw away all the books on the floor so we can bring in these new ones, or turn away this truck of donations. And they're likely to turn away the truck of donations because they're not all go-getters and they don't want to go take all the books off the shelf. They could at least say, hey, we can't take this truckload, but my boy can take the truckload. And literally that is how you scale, by growing and increasing where your little tentacles are at and where people care about you. Grow your network, and you'll be surprised what can happen from there. Other than that, it's just hard muscle, cold calling people, and getting more books to the top of the funnel, getting a bigger warehouse, getting more employees to process, getting conveyor belts, getting Gaylord dumpers, like et cetera, et cetera. But the main issue is always the supply. First you get the supply, then you get the money, then you get the power. You got what I'm saying? So focus on getting the supply. Get as much supply as you can until you're swimming in books like Scrooge McDuck in money coins, and then scale out, because once you have the supply to support the infrastructure, everything's going to work. Like, I would much rather secure a contract for like 6 months of truckload supply and then go get a warehouse like in 4 days, rather than get a warehouse and then try to go get a supply. It's just way more risky, right? So really, that's how you're going to scale it. You just need more books. That's the basics of it. And with more books comes more problems. And how do you deal with, the scale, the processing, the systems? Fortunately for you, there are other people that have done it, and you can look it up on YouTube and figure it all out. Someone says, what do you print labels with? We use the Dymo 4XL and the Dymo 450 Turbo. So the Turbo is for the FBA labels, and the 4XL is for the postage labels, which are good for, the box labels for UPS or FedEx, and also for eBay packages. I've sent 8 boxes already, which is 30 products. Let's see. What size box to ship books to Amazon? Good question. So my favorite size box to use is the small Home Depot boxes. Boom. Small. They're the perfect size to where textbooks fit in them, and like you need 0 packing. You could put about 15, maybe 20 textbooks in there and lay 1 on top or 2, and the whole box will be done. You won't need any packing. But they're great. It's literally almost impossible to put over 50 pounds of books in a small box, and that's why I really like it. They're just perfect. It's great size to pick up, because 50 pounds is actually kind of heavy. And if your box is a little big, you might be, twisting your back about or whatever. But the small boxes are about, chest width for someone with a bigger chest than me. And yeah, so they're just comfortable. Let's see. Someone said, hold on, going back to this. Got 500 saved. Should I go ahead and buy a printer and scanner? I'm all in on changing my life. No, don't buy shit. Go buy some books and list them from your phone using your laptop. Print the shit out on paper, cut it, rip the paper because you don't even have scissors, lick it, and use your spit to put it on the box. Don't buy shit. If you're just starting, buy books. Save your money for buying books. It's like, don't go to film school. Use that fucking money to buy cameras and start making films. That's what you need. You need practice. You do not need fancy shit. Don't get fancy. Get practical. Reezy, have you ever wholesaled textbooks or books? No, I've never wholesaled books. Your hat is dope. Thank you. This is my design, my original idea, crossing up with the 2 cultures that I'm into, skateboarding with reselling. So I was hyped on this. This is a sample, and it's not up to my standards, but I hope to, in the next 30 days, release these to you guys. So they're pretty dope. What other colors do you guys want to see this in? Like obviously a black hat for sure. It's coming. Let's see. ROI equals return on investment. This is true. What scouting app and scanner do you recommend? So scouting apps, there's 2 scouting apps that I recommend for books. One is going to be Scout IQ. The other one is going to be Scoutly. They're both very similar. They're both, I think $40 a month. I think Scoutly it might be $5 cheaper a month, but they both have database for books. Scout IQ actually only has database for books. Scoutly has database for quote unquote everything, but it's definitely not everything. Once you download stuff that's not books, you'll see. But they're very similar. Scout IQ, Scoutly. If you sell only books, maybe use Scout IQ. If you sell other things, media, clothing, whatever, do Scoutly. There's also Profit Bandit. That doesn't have database. If you sell media, you need database 100% and a scanner, but not until you're in the game. If you're just thinking about getting started, you're not in the game. You need to get in the game first. Once you're in the game and you've put in a couple days that are profitable, and you're tired of wasting your time, then you can upgrade. But please don't invest in upgrading in better scanner, better software, better whatever when you haven't actually made money yet. Unless you're someone that just has money and, you know what I mean? It ain't tricking if you got it. But if you don't got it, don't think that you need to get all the new shit that everyone has, because you don't. You could literally use a flip phone and call people and tell them to look the numbers up for you if you had to. And then scanners, I prefer the Opticon 2002, which is the same as the 2006, or the Comtech KDC 200i or the Socket 8CI. But overall, they're very similar. And I recommend you to get the one that's affordable for you and available. Let's see. Are you doing shoes or you scaled back? We have actually scaled back on shoes because we underestimated the amount of money that it would need to grow shoes at the capacity that we would like to. And we also weren't pricing aggressively enough up front. And so that affected our return on our cash flow. So we're pausing our major shoe investment for now and kind of scaling back into books because books are just so stupid easy. I was talking to Scott, my business partner, earlier today about it. And I was like, yeah, like books are serious and other things are serious. You have to like track how much money you spend, how much the products cost, how many returns, blah, blah, blah. But books are so cheap and the margins are so big and the ROI is so high. It's just stupid, dumb, easy. You never have to check. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but you never have to worry about the margins or the profit or a return or whatever. It's just always a shitload. It's just always way more than what you put in, like a minimum of 10x. So it's just a much more stress-free business model as far as business models that require lots of capital. So whereas we thought 60,000 could get us in the game with shoes, I think the reality is you would need much more like 100,000 or 150,000 to get into the game of shoes at the level we wanted to, which was to fully invest for 2 years to be able to create a cash flow positive business that creates $8,000 a month of positive cash flow. That's what our goal was, to create a salary that we could split off of the shoes and then have money to keep going to put back in or whatever. And it's going to take a lot longer than we thought. So we have to, revamp, replan, re-look at the metrics, forecasting. That's when the shit gets really important, is like metrics and forecasting and blah, blah, blah. With books, you would never have to get super detailed with that. You would never be running on bottom of the barrel margins like that. Let's see. Do I need to open another Amazon account specifically for my business? No, you can use your seller account. Do they really have books at the dollar store? Yes, they do. But is that new? I can't, advise you to say that's new because I'm sure Amazon's not going to accept a receipt from the Dollar Tree for one book, because it will just say one book probably as proof of authentic merchandise. So who knows? But maybe you can find out who they're getting them from and get remainders like that. But then should you be selling remainders as new? Do you want to take the mark off? I mean, these are all questions you need to make for your own business, right? Library book sale this weekend at Orange County, Florida. So if you weren't going to go and you are there, now you should go. And hopefully you'll see Rita and say, hey, because she just dropped a knowledge bomb. Should I same question again? Let's see. I'm going to go down to the bottom, scroll down a little bit. I live in a small town, but able to get to a bigger town. I ain't buying shit until I get my first sale. It will probably be a book. Good idea. I love that mentality. Let's see. Have you had issues with sending multiple boxes of books and FBA requiring packing list in shipments? Say you have 5 boxes of 50 books going out, each having a packing list. I've never put a packing list in a box to FBA ever. If you're supposed to do that, that's news to me. They must have made that rule, a while ago after I started, because we don't do that. So I definitely don't put packing lists in boxes ever. Let's see. I'm getting started in FBA books. I'm buying textbooks from students. How can I find out what bookstores are buying for so I can offer a premium on that but still not break the bank? Here's a great one, Kelly. So there's an app called Book Scouter, I believe. Let me make sure. I'm just going to look for it here on my phone. Yeah, it's called Book Scouter. It looks like this, Book Scouter. So Book Scouter. But basically with the Book Scouter app, it's aggregating book buyback websites. So if the student knew about Book Scouter, they wouldn't even go to you because they would just scan it on Book Scouter and see that, Half Price Books will give them $20 and then they can put it in a box and mail it to Half Price Books for $20. But maybe they're too lazy to do that, or maybe they don't know about it. But so what you can do is you can scan the book. Don't let them see, but you scan the book on Book Scouter, and then you undercut the Book Scouter offer for them. So if you scan it on Book Scouter and it says, Book Scouter will give you $20 for this book, you offer the student $10. And I know it sounds shady, but trust me, the students don't know what the books are worth, and they're happy to get that $10, even more so than the 20, because they don't want to go get a box, put it in a box, put tape on it, take it to UPS. They don't want to do any of that. They just want your $10 right now so they can go straight to spend it on a latte at Starbucks. Trust me. And a lot of students don't even know how much the books cost because they're wrapped up in their tuition costs. So they either their parents bought the books, or the books are wrapped up in the tuition costs, or it was paid for with part of the scholarship, meaning it wasn't their hard-earned money. They didn't sweat and bleed for it. So it's not like they're holding on to it. They're just trying to get something. You know what I mean? Like, believe it or not, there's kids that are actually not even that smart. They just throw the books away. They're cleaning up their room and they just throw the books away, throw them in the recycling, or even worse, in the trash. So don't think those people are stupid because they're only getting 10. There's people that are getting nothing because they're just throwing it away. And it's very realistic that you're buying books for 10 and selling them for 60, 80, 100. You make an offer. If they decline it, you can offer more if you want to. But that's a good guideline to go by. Let's see. You do not need a sales receipt to send books to Amazon, Alex, but when you sell items that are new on Amazon, especially if customers complain that they're not new, Amazon is going to come knocking on your door and ask you to prove that the item was new. So anytime any of you buy anything to sell on Amazon that's new, you need to have your documentation. So I recommend photographing or scanning the receipt and then taking a picture of the product while it's new with the tag on it still from the retail store that you bought it at that matches with the receipt. So that photo with the receipt photo basically proves that, yeah, it's new and I bought it from the Dollar Tree. That's the best you can do. I don't know if Amazon will accept it in all cases, but it's worked for me for Marshalls and Ross because their receipts don't show the product name on it. And that's what I advise people to do. How much of your business is wholesale? 0%. So I don't understand how 60,000 to 100,000 isn't enough to make money on shoes, even if the margin is 20%. So check it out, Bob. The thing is, because they don't sell as fast as you would like them to sell. So you can't, they're not all going to sell in 90 days. And if you were very, very aggressive, they would all sell in 6 months, right? So, but even if you're extremely aggressive, they're not all going to sell in the first 3 months. So you have to calculate what is your money that you get. And you also only get your money back from Amazon every 15 days. So that's some of your calculation. Your money is only coming back every 15 days. It takes, 90 to 180 days, on a good ratio to sell the shoes. And then you have to reinvest all of the money to keep going. So it's a lot more than like the simple math problem. You're not just sending it, buying it, and then list it and it sells and you do it again. If that makes any sense, it's a lot more than we forecasted. So there's more returns than we thought. There's more items that get qualified as unsellable than we thought. And then we weren't calculating. So items get returned 1, 2, 3, 4 times before the sale actually finally sticks sometimes. And there's a $6 or $7 return fee every freaking time it comes back, right? So that adds up. You make bad buys, you lose your money. But basically, it's not what we thought it was, to get to where we wanted it to be. It would, as quickly as we wanted it to, it would require more manpower and more capital. So like I have a friend that is probably the biggest shoe seller on Amazon, and he had well over 100 when he started, and he sells like 500 plus pairs of shoes a day on Amazon now, but he started with well over 100. And I don't think you could ever get to that aggressive of a business model that he did, he did in like 3 years, if you didn't start with 100. If that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. So here's a great one. Martin says, if there's only 5% of books that are worth money, doesn't that mean it would take up a lot of time looking for them? Yes, Martin, it takes a lot of time. So finding that needle in the haystack with books is what takes all of the time. I actually tell people your job with books, it's not to find the ones that are profitable, it's to get through the ones that aren't profitable as fast as possible. So you need to become adept at scanning, and that's when the database comes in to play, and having a Bluetooth barcode scanner, because with the database and the barcode scanner, you can scan a book and then see the result on the screen, hopefully mounted on your arm on a little arm docky thingy. Anyways, in about half of a second, quarter of a second. So you can literally scan books faster and analyze the results faster than one book a second. Probably about a rate of 2 to 3, maybe 4 book. Not 4. 2 to 3 books a second. That's how fast you're going through it. And you can wear headphones to get price alerts. But yes, it does take a long time, and that's why the name of the game is to go as fast as possible. You could scan 1,000 books in 1,000 seconds. Computer, Alexa, what's 1,000 divided by 60?
1,000 divided by 60 is 16.6.
Yeah, so 1 book a second, 16 minutes to scan 1,000 books. So, and that should produce, about 50 books that are going to be profitable, if 5%, or less. So somewhere between 0 and 50 books of the average 1,000 book sample that you scan, which should only take you about 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 minutes or so to get through if you're fast and on your grind. And that's what it's all about. Why does Amazon charge a fee higher than thank you very much for the $13.50 Canadian super chat, which I'm not even sure how much American money that is, but I do appreciate that. Let me get your question. What is a good amount of books to send to Amazon in your first year of selling? As much as you can. Start out with the goal of 100 books a week. Start out with that goal. If you hit that goal consistently, raise it to 150, but as much as you can. There's nothing that should be stopping you. How much do you want to work? How much books can you get? Do you have the capital to buy them? You should, because they're only books. That's what you need to do. Don't limit yourself. When you buy bags of books at the end of the library sale, do you scan the books or just grab a ton of nonfiction books that look good? Definitely scan them. We still scan them. We just lower our criteria because the books don't cost us as much. So if we want to make $1 profit and the books cost $1, that's a lot different than if we want to make $1 profit and the books are $5 a bag, right? Which would be like 10 cents a book, maybe 20 cents. So that's a lot different. And so in your scanning app, you change that on bag sale day. You also stock up on books that you need to complete sets, books to sell to the bookstore, because used bookstores buy popular books back. So they'll buy them for like $1 or $2 and you're getting them for like 10, 20 cents. So you get good at that. That can supplement, that will pay for all your books at the book sale. One thing I do grab without looking anything up is all of the CDs and DVDs. Now, warning, CDs and DVDs are restricted for new sellers. So that's restricted for you. But for me and for people that aren't restricted, you can get unrestricted. We do that for people for free in my mastermind group. Grab all the CDs and DVDs, because at $5 a bag, a CD and a DVD is basically free. It's like 5 cents each. I would love to know how many DVDs fit in a paper bag or a CDs, just so because I don't even know. It's not even worth figuring out. It's basically free, right? Thank you for the $5 super chat. I got to find it. Kelly. Thank you, Kelly Hurst, for the $5 super chat. You live in LFK where the Jayhawks are. LFK, Lawrence F. What's the F? What's the F for? Lawrence, Kansas. Let's see. Go Jayhawks, rock chalk. Do they accept Walmart receipts, bro? Receipts from stores will prove authenticity as long as the product is clearly stated on the receipt, right? And especially if you have pictures of the product in good condition. But those same receipts will not get you approved to sell in those restricted things, which a lot of people mix up. So retail receipts used to prove authenticity? Yes. Retail receipts used to get ungated in brands you're not allowed to sell in? No. Survey says 3 X's. No. Is that on the board? No, that's not on the board. Side note, we need to do a reseller episode of Family Feud. That would be so dope. Gather up like all the reseller YouTubers and do a A reseller family feud battle royale. Let's do it. I'm down. I'll put some money on that. What's the most efficient way to reprice your book inventory? Is using a repricing software. So the cheapest one that I recommend people to get into is Reprice It. It's the most efficient. It's the most economical. It's not the most efficient. It's not the best. Their customer service sucks, but it gets the job done and it is cheap, right? Otherwise, you could do it yourself. You could use a spreadsheet. You could use other services like that cost more but are more robust, like Be Cool, BQOOL. A new one that a lot of people are liking is Celery. I'm kind of steering away from it or stuff like that because they charge 1% of your gross sales. And so like that's just, either you're with that or you're not with that. I personally feel like that kind of service doesn't need to charge 1%. The same exact business could exist for a flat rate monthly fee. So I do feel like the 1% of your gross sales is greedy. So it kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth, but the results are staggering. So it definitely works. But yeah, a software is going to be the best way to do it. And to do it by yourself without a paid repricer, you need to use some extensions. You need to use an extension called Link Clump. You need to use another extension called Redirector to make sure that the link that Link Clump opens from Manage Inventory automatically loads to the FBA offers. Then you need to know how to play your keyboard like a piano, Control Shift Tab, Control Shift W, Control W, Control Tab, whatever. And you need a number pad on your keyboard. That's how you're going to put that all together and you can reprice fast. You can reprice 100 books in about 4, 5, 7 minutes if you know how to do it using those tips that I just provided you starting from Manage Inventory page. Reezy, how do you go about intellectual property and trademark infringing doing retail arbitrage? It's not a concern at all. When it happens, you usually just say, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't know I couldn't do that. And you get good at noticing it more when you're in the field. Like when you find a hot product that's going to make you a lot of money and it's very popular, and you go and look at the offers and there's only one seller, that's a red flag. Why is there only one seller? If it's that awesome, other people probably found it by now. If there's only one seller, there's a reason, probably because the company squeezes the balls of anybody that tries to sell it. Even worse, is that one seller the brand owner? Like, then you're probably not going to be able to sell it. Even though Amazon says you can sell it, it'll literally go inactive right when it gets there, and you'll get a nasty letter and blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, I didn't know I couldn't do that, etc. But really, it's not a concern. You try to avoid it. You do your best. It's what you do. Let's see. The lady at my library sale asked today why I wanted to get so many bags, and I told her my mom wanted to donate them. I was scared she would tell me to get out of reselling. Oh, man. Oh, Mandy loves the Family Feud idea. That would be killer, right? I'm just saying I get to be on Rally Roots team. Just saying. Me and Ryan are going to dominate. Team Rally Roots. We're going to dominate this. That would be the best. Reseller game show. Who gets to be Steve Harvey, though? Who gets to be Steve Harvey? Danny, I'll answer your question. I did not see your question. Lawrence F. in Kansas. Kelly, you're awesome. A couple more questions here. I did not see your question, Alex, so I am waiting for you to put it up there again. Books only FBA or can do it merchant fulfilled? If that's your question, you can do books merchant fulfilled or FBA. Whatever you want to sell on Amazon, you can sell it merchant fulfilled or FBA, provided there's not any other limitations like, hazmat or any other random stuff like oh, this item's part of the grocery program or whatever. Like there's little weird rules about some stuff. Danny says, do they accept Walmart receipts? I know it's their competition. I already answered that question, bro. I don't think you were paying attention. So I definitely already answered that question. But I think that's about it, guys. If you would please smash the like button before you head out, I would really appreciate it. And just a big reminder, guys, my play button is in the mail. It's coming. Your boy got his play button. It will be here on Tuesday. And so between now and Tuesday, I'm going to do the giveaway announcement, the Reezy 100K giveaway. We're going to give away over $60,000 of actual stuff. Not all actual stuff. Some is products. Some is cash, like over $2,000 of actual cash will be given away. Lifetime subscriptions to some of the best services out there, like tactical arbitrage, just all kinds of good stuff. Free consultations with like anybody who's anybody in the game. Rally Roots threw in some stuff. Nicole State's Place, they threw in a whole like full body size light box where you can like hang full dresses in. Like, woo, it's gonna be hot and heavy. One more question. Hot and heavy, is that an okay way to describe a YouTube giveaway in light of the things that have been going on recently? Question: Is it practical to resell books or any other items in countries other than USA? Yes, it's very practical. So the thing is how developed is your online market, right? So I know no country is as big of brand whores and shoppers as we are in America, right? We buy everything. Like, you only have to half convince us that some shit's worth buying, and then we buy it. And then we go, wait, this shit sucks, and we just throw it. Like, we are very wasteful. So it's easy to sell to Americans. We buy a lot, right? People in other countries don't buy as much as Americans, but they still buy probably more online than they do in retail, right? So, and it's only going to get more towards how America is. I would assume that Amazon thinks that all countries will become how America is with their shopping behaviors, or some semblance of that, or they're pushing to drive it to get there. Like, I know in America, for example, you're looked at like a weirdo if you don't buy on Amazon, right? Like, almost nobody would answer that as, no, I don't shop on Amazon. If you say that in America, you're a weirdo. But in the UK and in France, places that I was at last summer, it's a little bit different, like that's, they're just kind of adopting and getting into the flow of things. We're probably, 10 times, if not 20 times more shopping centric online than they are. But I think it will get there eventually, but just understand the differences of your markets. Maybe where you live, Amazon's not the top dog. Maybe there's another website that's the top dog. Well, that's where you're going to have to sell. You know what I mean? And maybe you live somewhere where, your Amazon and your online opportunities are not so great. So you decide to make a business from wherever you're at, but the business runs in America on the .com Amazon. So you could have prep centers in America. You could have accounts with wholesalers and distributors in America that would ship your product to prep centers in America that would then forward it to Amazon. So now you live in wherever you live in, and you're running a business selling to Americans on the .com Amazon, and you've never been to America and you're not touching your products or anything. So it can be remotely done in a multitude of ways. Print on demand is a great one because that doesn't require physical products to be sent to a prep center to be then sent to Amazon, right? But just because you live in a different country doesn't mean you can't sell on .com Amazon. And the same thing goes for Americans. Just because you live in .com doesn't mean you can't also sell on Canada Amazon or Mexico Amazon, or ship pallets over the pond to sell in EU, which would be highly beneficial because that goes to all the European countries. Once you get it to a EU fulfillment center, it's available to be shipped to all of the countries that participate in the EU fulfillment network, which is crazy because I'm still waiting for them to allow US fulfillment items to be shipped to Mexico and Canada from the Canada Amazon or from the Mexico Amazon, which currently is not available. They're available to be shipped anywhere in the world, but they have to be purchased on .com, which is a major bummer. Besides books, what else can a newbie sell on Amazon? Whatever you find that you can sell is what you can sell. But books are just the best place to start, and they're plentiful. So should I quit eBay now and start selling books on Amazon? I don't think you should quit eBay, Alex. You should keep that in your back pocket and keep your eBay sword sharp because you're going to need it. It's going to help you out in various situations, and then just start going on books. But definitely don't start. Don't start. That's all. It's the same thing, right? You're just doing the books with Amazon. You're going to still need to sell stuff on eBay. Don't stop what you're doing already. Just add books into the mix. Congrats on 100K. Thank you very much. Ben, thank you for joining, Ben. Ben learned a lot. Cool hat, my man. Thank you. If I had $1 for every compliment I got on this hat, I think I'd have at least $10 for this show. So I think it's pretty much confirmed. This hat needs to be released in the camo. It might not end up having the yellow outline like it has right now because I want to do 3D puff. I don't know if you guys can see, but this is not 3D puff. And I think I can't outline it with yellow and then white. So maybe it will just have no yellow. It'll just have a white outline with flat embroidery with the 3D puff with the black. But the camo is definitely coming through and the black's definitely going to come through. But let me know what you guys think about the merch, or if you guys like the Resist Follow the Hustle shirts. The shirts are available already, as well as the Scan and Destroy shirt, which is another Thrasher parody. So when I got this idea, I was like, oh, we could also parody Skate and Destroy, Scan and Destroy, which is another banger. So if you're a skater who's also a reseller, that will make sense to you. And I'm actually really proud that I kind of made something cool because it's not exactly easy to make cool designs, logos, merch, gear for reselling. Yeah, like actual cool stuff that I would like wearing. So pretty stoked about that. Your biggest fan is a stranger, your biggest hater is someone you know, for sure, definitely. Thank you guys. Oh, and we also have, we redesigned the "If You Ain't Flippin', You Slippin" shirt. I would have wore that one, but it's in the bottom of the hamper, so like that wasn't too fresh of an idea. But it's a redesigned "If You Ain't Flippin', You Slippin'." It's like artistic-y tech, like it looks like spray painty hip hop style. Like, trust me, you'll like it. Available in women's sizes as well. The women's shirts, they're available in more colors like purple and stuff, so that's awesome. Scan and Destroy stickers definitely coming through on the Scan and Destroy stickers. So we're gonna have a whole lineup of cool stuff. The goal for me with the merch is I want to make merch that's so cool, obviously that I would wear it, but like people who are into reselling or thrifting would wear it even if they don't know who I am. So that's the goal with that, is kind of try and create cool reselling, hustling merch that anybody would like, even if they don't like me, which is crazy because who doesn't like me? Anyways, guys, I will let you guys all get back to your families, get back to your evenings. Please drop a comment down below and let me know what is paining you with Amazon, or getting started with books or reselling or social media or whatever it is that is inside of my head that you think I can help you with. Please comment down below that question or that video idea or that point in time on this video that was the most useful for you. I would really appreciate it. And if YouTube's not your thing, if you're more of a podcast person, please check out my podcast, the Reezy Resells Show. It's available on any podcast player you listen to. Episodes air Monday mornings at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on the podcast. So driving to work Monday mornings, you can bet there will be a new podcast for you to listen to on the podcast app. And of course, we do the live shows pretty regularly Mondays at 6 p.m. where I interview other sellers or do master classes on how to get going on books, kind of like what I did tonight. I do have a vlog coming soon, which is a day in the life, and it does include hustling. So that will be cool. I've had a little bit of technical difficulties getting that out, but I'm excited to release that to you guys. And also, if you're new here and you don't know that I have a family channel, and my daughter Luna, my 7-year-old daughter, has a channel too. So go check that out as well. Reezy Fam Vlogs, and where we're kind of trying to separate more of the non-businessy content. But I still love sharing those memories with you guys as well. Because that's part of the journey for me. The stuff that we do as a family is only made possible by my success from selling online and YouTube, which is all part of the journey of bettering your life using the internet, right, guys? So with that being said, I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Please hit the like button on your way out. And remember, if you ain't flipping, you slipping. Peace, guys. Have a good night.